I'm going to read something. It may end up being stand up at some point, but right now this is a story. But it's a true story because I was in the hospital and I learned a lot. It's very interesting being in the hospital. So here we go. So I was in the hospital recently having surgery. Again, as you know, if you know me, I need a new prescription because I can't read. I was in the hospital recently having surgery, or as they like to call it, a surgical procedure. Maybe that sounds less ominous. Being in the hospital is an interesting experience. The hospital is some weird kind of mashup between boot camp and a spa. 1 minute the nurses are gently waking you up to take your vitals. You want to make sure that you're doing okay. And the next minute they're waking you up to give you pain medication. You want to make sure that you are comfortable. And the next minute they're waking you up to rip the catheter and tell you that from now on you have to get up and watch the bathroom to pee on your own. And I want to know, what kind of bullshit is that? They get you all used to this nice feature of hospital life, and then they take it away. If you haven't been hospitalized, you probably don't understand the joy, how great it is to have a catheter. I didn't. It sounds very scary, but actually it's pretty cool. First of all, part of the beauty of having a catheter is that you don't know that you have a catheter. All you know is that you went to sleep, and then you woke up, from your surgical procedure, and suddenly you can drink as much fluids as you want without ever having to go to find a bathroom or pull down your jeans. It's pretty cool. Most of the hospital experience. Hold on, sorry. Reading here. Much of the hospital experience is about bodily functions, which makes sense. In addition to peeing, there's pooping. Until my recent surgery experience, I would have been embarrassed to talk about pooping. Adult people generally only talk about it if they have children. And I'm sure that those of you out there who have kids think that you've moved past any aversion to talking about pooping. But I would ask you, have you really? Because chatting about it with your mommy and me crowd is very different than talking about pooping with your non-childbearing friends. I didn't understand the importance of pooping until my hospital experience. Pooping is a big. I can't believe I'm talking about pooping. Pooping is a big deal in the hospital, and the staff talk about it almost, to bring it up to you frequently. Did you poop yet? Did you poop yet? Did you poop yet? They actually refer to it as about moving your bowels. And the nurses would like for you to be able to poop before you leave the hospital, but this isn't always possible. For one thing, if you are in the hospital, you are most likely taking opiates for the pain. And opiates, I really need to use a bigger font next time. Somebody remind me that. and opiates make you constipated. But they set reasonable goals. First, they ask if you have passed gas. For those of us who are used to treating the passing of gas as something we try to keep secret, this is a bit disconcerting, but you get used to it pretty quickly. Because have no doubt, while you are in the hospital, you are a prisoner. And like any prisoner in a detention facility situation, you want to please your captors. You may be tempted to raise your hand. Oh, me, pick me. I farted. It is just true. In my experience, the passing of the gas wasn't such a big deal. The pooping, on the other hand, not so much. And it makes total sense to me that your body wouldn't necessarily want to poop after you've had surgery. I mean, think about it from your body's perspective. It's just been the victim of a major physical assault. I mean, it might have been not behaving perfectly, but you have to admit your response could be considered a bit extreme. I mean, you brought in the fucking cavalry, the Navy SEALs, and a SWAT team to cut you open, ripped out some of your body parts, and then left. What's left of you is probably cowering in the corner, praying not to be noticed. It's not interested in making a grand gesture like pooping. So if you answer no to the question, have you pooped yet, which it probably will be a no, they give you a stool softener. Conduct a procedure which requires the administration of medications that make it hard for you to poop, then prescribe medications to help you poop. Interesting, isn't it? By the way, it took me 6 days to poop, but that's a story for another day. Thank you.